I don't know whether it is a good thing or a bad thing, but especially this year, I don't know. Okay, so depending on the spectrum you identify yourself as being part of, okay, in the sense, of course, oh yeah, Santinia, Obehune say, Adia Air Cosono, it is an attack on Ohene. Onya Santini so Obehune say, well, maybe we are getting to know, in quotes, the history of this country, or we are educating people. But in recent times, Adia Bakwa, aye topic and a conversation about Bontempa is the fact that whether Otumfuo say to the second a king or he's just a chief. It has been a big issue. Starting from the Mahene in Samoa Walker and the constitution literally said there's no king in Ghana. Say Odia Yebetse of Ekufuado Ebo Ahimfuichi tie Ahimfuichi as answer board the Mahene Abaso say the womo ye no a year womo kembia motu omo kembia true Otumfuo magana fu hu no kwaya no and all those things no. And that papa bia wo ye ono nso a renowned historian wo Ghana ye fe no Anoche Frimpong na I call him renowned because ye can historians of Ghana ni eboni bia me ono na ya me hu no otaiba GTV eba bekasa ono so aba bonten betre se Otumfuo say tutu enye king senia ye kan no senia ya nkrofo kan wo mpese mu hu no se Otumfuo ye king no person say Otumfuo is not a king and America no based on where you stand. You might see this as an attack, or you might see this as, well, maybe you are being educated. But you read in your hands someone walker, and then let's try to make sense out of this. I'll say Otumfuo said to the second is not a king. Historian Anoche Frimpong. I'll say Yawa Anoche Frimpong, a lawyer and a historian, has asserted that the overlord of the Ashanti land, Otumfuo said to the second, is not a king, as suggested by some factions in the public. So according to him, the Asantehene is not a king because the Asante kingdom, which used to be very prominent in the past, no longer exists, and the laws of the country, which the Otumfuo himself is subject to, do not support the establishment of kings. So here, sir, constitutional argument. Adomahene edebaeno. Ononso eno ana wodeba. Ose wo hwe tete no. Senya na asante ene omahini no ete no enye san ete sisi ena Ghana mrakra na sisi ano emma kwan se wo bi embra meye eye king. That's what he's saying. Also, the historian who made these remarks in an interview with Ghana Web added that Asantehene is a paramount chief and not a king, as in the likes of King Charles II of England, because kings are normally the head of state of their country and are not subject to any state institution. Now, I say Asantehene a paramount chief, onye king. Ati ase because ye ka king dia te se oko England a obi a hye omo hene no ase. But oba Ghana obi a nhye asante hene ase eye asante fo na hye asante hene ase. Enti no eno no san no asante hene untumi nka so ye king. Waka so ye king dia na trese nanka the whole Ghana no nanka obi a be hye na se te se England for omo hene no. This is what he's saying. Also, the West Kingdom and king are not in Ghana's chieftaincy laws and regulations. Because to be a king means to be the head of a kingdom. And to have a kingdom means you have a king who has his own parliament, who has got his own judiciary, and has an executive under him. And the people of the country are subject to him without question. With this, maybe you would remember some of the Islamic countries like Saudi Arabia and others. We don't have that in Ghana. And that is why the West Kingdom and king are missing from our laws, he said. The Ghana Mrano, or see any word we have to say king. He added that, properly speaking, he Otumfuo is not a king because as opposed, he Otumfuo is not a king because he is subject to the Parliament of Ghana and courts and whatever. It also Otumfuo onye king because he is subject to the Parliament of Ghana, courts and bibia, as opposed to King Charles of England. Over there, he's the king of England, and Parliament would make bills for him to sign before they become law. He, King Charles, is the head of state of United Kingdom. The Asantehene is not the head of state of Ghana, and his powers do not go beyond the frontiers of the Ashanti land. And so person say Asantehene no ni tumi empa Asante asase so ehun. Onye the head of state of Ghana. Yaka so be a head of state na oye ohene a ono na oye king to ko sa Dubai ne sa Arab countries na omo kings. Now this is what I want to say. Okay. It is law as senior Ghana mra etre. There is no king, blah blah blah, all that. But technically, has anyone been able to successfully sue Otumfuo? Amanipakono, we win the case now. I don't know. Maybe we have to know. Has anyone been able to do that? Say successfully, or the Otumfuo ako court. Ama court a dia say no ma court akasa okay Otumfuo default. Has anyone done that before? Records be or hosa. Anyway, you see, Ghana police and other state institutions, of course, they are not under Otumfuo. But all those state institutions are more Asante Maimuno. I say, on paper, they are not under Otumfuo. But psychologically, we all know, say, they give some respect to Otumfuo. I don't know whether I get what I'm saying. Police penya or Asante Maimu. Otumfuo tunes afrena. He has no say. The Otumfuo beka no beye. To make us on yet. But then again, I understand. Send your moka, the person, it has to be a state. It doesn't go beyond the Ashanti land. No, I mean, it sort of makes sense over there. Anytime I make two things. Either you might see this as an education, or you might see this as an attack on Otumfuo. Your comments are nkrofo apase. You can read the comment na head the nkrofo kan. I say thanks very much for the education. Ghanaians should listen to this great son of our land, Super Paramount Chief Otumfuo Osei-Tutu. Hey. I say much ado about nothing. Has Otumfuo ever said he is a king? It is some journalists and over-ambitious Ashantis who try to use that word more or less. Some of us see it's an appellation. Legally, there is nothing like that. Into be some more can say a Asantefo and a no more per se or more say Otumfuo a king, and so more the omu say Otumfuo the onye king. Omu say a young bi pe na as omo person mo ye na omo epeji Otumfuo. Amama Kaya Sembi, when I was in my first year, KN University, right? And before, my mama said, before me call KN University, no, me bibia a yetema. Me bibia a yetema. And tema na me call school from crèche to SHS. Bibia tema. Into university, and I me call a year KN University Kumase. Now, in tema, senya Papei Ekano. That is exactly how I saw Otumfuo. I saw him as Asantefo Ehene. Into me kaisa one day, first year, arguments. Arguments. I mean, KNUST, obviously, Kumasi. So, I him for arguments are. Na, Oka say, any Asantehene, the whole Ghana. I want to make a dance, and Maza, 7 okay. The whole Ghana saying, Dabio, Opa me kroma, me hine no. Asante hini ntumi ma mbedi mi hene so ewo mimi gu asema me ka kire no. Asante hini ntumi ma mbedi mi hene so ewo mimi krum. Saa na me hene nso ba asante asase so a. Ontumi ma mbedi asante hene so. Sani America no. Me kan sa asem no. Chale afe behe asante fo ana ewo ho. Ase de omo ko kwa pai. Mimi nim ne me kan asante hene and yeah, I hear Funiash and I say, hey, let me say, and genuinely, I didn't know anything. Genuinely, Obia me Tema, born and bred in Temanina. I didn't know anything about Otumfuo, say, or you're powerful, you say, not me name. Into genuinely, I was speaking based on what I know. But they felt like I was attacking Omohene. So, the entire America, sir, let me say, I said the microphone your mom pen no carry and I say that day we say microphone so mom pen no carry and I say there Charlie that was the one of the my experiences in Kumasi into one of me say the microphone omo for mo hini India grow into Otumfuo asemba na me na say asema make na controversial I was say me soon so me ho aside that let me just add this. That was one of my experiences. Now, another experience in Kumasi, when I went to Kumasi the first time, and I learned quickly, when I went to Kumasi the first time, another experience, they say, Oba tema won, tema. So that time, no na, Coke, bottle. Mi nim se sisi a, emse nan se mi unhubium. But that time, na Coke bottle, no, ye wo kitwe bi wo ho. Na tema no, ne diyan ye defre no, eye Kufuado. Coke bottle kitwa no. Ediane ya de todo no no Ekufuado. And it wasn't, we didn't see it as derogatory. Say ye ade bia ye di Ekufuado atem. Tema wo ko to cook now say oh me to cook me pe Ekufuado a ombe yi keto no ayeden ama. Oka say ope ohema ombe yi glass bottle de na ama. Inti oh tema de okwa inti me du kuma se na me ko me say oh me refi me say oh me to cook me pe Ekufuado. Girl na waton cook na mama me sisa ade na ko yare me eh and ade na me di obi papa tem sa de me ye na nye na me na fofo ameni omo ko ya me ko to ade nso mo so ye temafo na fe me dan fofo na cry short say na gay e de na wa ye no me say it's a wana me realize said no Kumasi na me wo e wana me kate me na fofo say and me kate again say relax me show tema na me free tema no saa na ye frɛ no enye se ye di papa na tem ba saa na ye frɛ no ntime srɛ de fa kyeme masa anka girl na enre me wɔ ne shop ho. Those two experiences me face ye wo Kumasi. Mo try waje o comment box o ti for we da say